The blessings of the earth and sky, and up upon our friendly house do lie. The right.
Are you using this? Okay. Are you using this? Okay, I'm just cleaning up. It's like, hi Birch, how are you?
Your script is a little different. You don't want yours? This is my original.
Oh, I thought we didn't want the scripts.
No. I definitely read my script. All right. Good morning. Welcome.
Different
All right.
scripts.
All right. We've got our characters. Recruitment for soulful potlucks. Take one.
Hey, I'm going to a small potluck at a friend's house from the church. You should go. You go by signing up on Breeze, and you pick your time and your location, and on the day that you want to go. But little tip here, you should sign up for a few locations because there's only 5 to 7 spots per place, and so it's kind of limited, so you improve your chances.
A church potluck.
Yes, but in a member's house.
So, church rules or house rules?
Oh, house rules, of course. You know, you make yourself at home. If he spills something, it just becomes part of the funny story. But you belong before you even say your first word.
A potluck.
Yes, very casual, very fun, very interesting, very welcoming, very us.
Define casual.
Oh, you know, shoes optional. Deep, emotional, spiritual, political, personal sharing is encouraged, but not required.
I don't know a lot of people from church.
Leslie, I've been here less time than you, and I hosted the last time. I met some really lovely people. Yes.
Hey.
And now we're friends.
What do I have to bring?
Well, the host will email you, and you'll discuss all of the food preferences or allergies, and then as a group, you'll decide together what to bring. And full disclosure, there'll be really good food, there'll be too much food, there'll probably be something you don't really care for, but maybe like me, you'll have to say, Tess, your recipe was better than my Italian grandma that makes. Would I please have the recipe?
Wait, was your grandmother also liberal and slightly anxious?
Deeply.
Okay, I'll sign up, but I'll probably slip out quietly before it's time to do the dishes.
Leslie, you do you.
End scene.
Good morning, friends. I'm Tess Derringer, and I serve on the Leadership Development Committee with Corey Dever, Patrick Caldwell, Sheila Heggie, Jennifer Martin, and John Reimers. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whether you carry joy or sorrow in your heart, you are welcome here. All people of goodwill are warmly invited to join us on the great journey of the mind, the heart, and the spirit. If this is your first time with us today, please let the offering basket pass you by. Your presence is gift enough. We hope you will join us for coffee and conversation in the community room after the service. We'd love to get to know you and answer any questions you have. You can also visit the information table that's at the exit to the community room. If you are looking for ways to engage and support the community of First Unitarian, the Leadership Development Committee welcomes you with open arms. We are almost halfway through our church year, and there will be 14 openings on our elected committees, with service beginning July 1st, 2026. There are a broad range of time commitments required and skill sets needed. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. As members, we covenant together to support each other in our congregation. We are not a volunteer organization. We are a ministry of members. We are called to justice, equity, interdependence, generosity, and pluralism. Let the way we approach service mirror these values by expanding the core group of devoted volunteers and sharing responsibilities with new people, new energy, and new ideas. We will all benefit from it. Let's fully embrace our membership and friendship, especially if you are newer to FUSD or haven't served for a while. Step up to share in our ministry of members by participating in the committees that help support everything First Unitarian does. True camaraderie and personal growth await. The Leadership Development Committee is here to help you. Please reach out to us. We are at the opportunities table at the back of the community room every Sunday. We're happy to meet with you individually to answer your questions and support your engagement journey. Please join us for an activity fair on Sunday, February 1st, to learn about the many opportunities that welcome more helping hands. We'd love to match you with an opportunity that interests you. Now, please silence your cell phone and other devices. The question of the day is you're going to turn to your neighbor and ask them to tell you about a time someone helped them become a better person. Welcome to service.
Good morning, First Unitarian. Good morning, so glad you are here. That was a good prompt. Lots of good conversation. I'm here to invite you to the Baroque Chamber Orchestra. They will be performing in our sanctuary this Saturday. This is our next concert in the Capitol Hill Concerts series. We are selling tickets in the community room in the coffee hour, and you can also visit capitolhillconcerts.com to learn more or buy tickets online. Hope to see you there. This is going to be a great show.
Whoever you are, wherever you are welcome here. Would you please join us in singing our song of welcome? We are many, we are one. The light of the world is within you. Sacred and worthy is your soul. A place has been made for you. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Birch Cue. My pronouns are they, them, and theirs, and it is my honor to be your guest here today. Take this as an invitation to imagine how wide this world can be, to face the closing doors of our lives and move toward the windows opening before us. Take this as an invitation to remember a critical truth, that none of us have it all figured out, that we help one another grow and change. Take this as an invitation to cross thresholds of challenge, not on our own, not for ourselves alone, but side by side, spirits rising and expanding together. Come in as we share our gifts and truths with each other.
Listen, my sisters and brothers, 'cause if you do, you can hear there are voices that are calling across the years. And they're all crying across the ocean, and they're crying across the land. And they will till we all come to understand that none of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. And there are people still in darkness that cannot see the light. And if you don't say that it's wrong, that says it's right. We gotta try to feel for each other, that our friends know we care. Got to get the message, send it out loud and clear, that none of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. Now I swear your salvation isn't too hard to find, but none of us can do it on our own. On our own. We gotta join together in spirit, heart, and mind, so that every soul who's suffering will know they're not alone. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. If you just none of us, none of us, none of us, none of us. Now if you just look around you, you're gonna see what I say. The world is getting smaller every day. Now it's time to start making changes. It's time for us all to realize that the truth is shining bright right before our eyes. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. None of us are free. No, none of us are free. None of us are free. Not one of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are. None of us are. None of us are free. None of us. None of us are free. None of us. Not one of us. None of us is chained. If one of us ain't free, none of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are chained. If one of us, none of us chained, none of us are free.
All right, my friends, come on down. Give it up again for our singers, Leah, the musicians. Wow. We are so blessed with an incredible team. I have said often that I was put on this earth to be an educator and a mother, and we are blessed with some people that were put on this earth to sing and play music. So thank you. All right, come on down, friends. Oh, haven't seen some of you in a while. So good to see your faces. Hi, Hadley. Come on down, shy, reluctant friends. Yay, here they come. Okay. So today, Birch is going to be talking to the adults about how we help others, or how we help each other be our best selves. So I want to know how we do this, and I think you might be able to help me. What are some things you do to be a better person? For example, I like to always be learning. I listen to podcasts, I read books, I'm always talking to friends. Can you think of something you do that helps you become a better person? It's okay, we have some shy friends today. That's all right. So a lot goes into being our best selves, and sometimes we have people who help us become a better person. For example, if I'm going through something that's hard and I need to do something that's hard, I can call a friend and say, oh my goodness, and talk through it with them, and they help me become a better person for that conversation. Can you think of someone who helps you become a better person?
Evie.
So your sister Evie helps you become a better person. I love that. In families, that's a really big part of being a family, is helping each other become better people. I love that answer. Thank you, Henry. So some of what Birch is going to talk about today has to do with our shared core values. And every once in a while, we do our handy way of remembering them. So we use our fingers. Adults can learn too. And we count from 1 to 7 with our fingers to remember those shared values. So you do remember what number 1 is? Adults, help us out. Transformation. See, we're growing. Transformation. 2, equity. 3, pluralism. 4, justice. 5, generosity. 6, we make a heart on our palm. 6, love. And 7 is that fun little stretch where we're using our 2 fingers and kneeling down and looking at that interdependent web on our palm. Yes, all 7 shared values. So we're going to talk a little bit more about those downstairs when we go. We'll go to class in just a minute, but I want to connect to our message with the adults of becoming a better person. We'll talk about a little bit more about that when we go to class. So are we ready to go have some fun, either upstairs or downstairs? All right. So glad you're here today. Let's go to class. Vámonos.
Do you rise in body and our spirit and join us in singing our first hymn of the day, Our World is One World. Our world is one world. What touches one affects us all. The seas that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world. The thoughts we think affect us all. The way we build our attitudes with love or hate we make
Hi, everyone. You astute observers might notice that I'm not Lynn Garman, but I'm Michael DeSantis. I use they, them pronouns. Lynn will be up here in a minute. But I wanted to make one announcement that's related to the stewardship and the contributions that we make to this congregation, which is what this time is set aside for. So some of you may know that we have been looking to hire a new full-time stewardship coordinator and administrative assistant. And we have found somebody who is perhaps familiar to some of you, which is our own member, Ellery Boyd. Ellery has already been doing this work in a part-time capacity for the last couple months. She has really excelled, just a wonderful addition to our staff team. As you all know, a wonderful part of our community. So we're really excited to have her, especially as we go into stewardship season. And I'm going to let Ellery say a little bit more about what kind of they're bringing to this role and what they are looking to bring into this relationship with you all in this new capacity.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you all so much. I'm really excited to be stepping into this new role in this new capacity as your stewardship coordinator and administrative assistant. I am eager to answer your questions about anything to do with stewardship, from pledging to legacy giving, but more than that, I'm excited to learn from you all. In your capacity, whether you're a longtime member or someone who's new to our community. I will be at the stewardship table today at the back of the community room during coffee hour. So please come say hi, introduce yourself, reintroduce yourself, and we can also talk more about what Lynn is going to be introducing in a moment, which is our pledge campaign for 2026-2027. So thank you all so much, and see you back there.
I can assure you that apart from Rhonda, there's probably nobody more excited about having Ellery on board than myself. And I'm looking forward to working with her. I'm not going to talk a lot about our pledge campaign yet. We kick that off March 1st. I am going to make a couple quick announcements. We are beginning a soft launch of our ambassador sign up and training today, and you can talk to Ellery about that and learn more about that in coffee hour, and you can show her how you are willing to step up and help her out by serving as an ambassador. Ambassadors are people who are asked to reach out to a handful of members and discuss their experience with the congregation and their pledge in support of this faith community. I also want to remind people, this announcement's on the back of your order of service. We do have a values-based estate planning workshop today for UUs, and anyone who's interested in learning more about our legacy program or just in general setting up giving associated with their own estate planning, please come. Boy, what a week we've been through, huh? Yeah, what a week. One of the gifts from this week for me was attending the resonance service led by Leah and her team, who created a meditative grounding and healing space Wednesday night. And there was no more timely kind of service for me after the events of Wednesday morning in Minneapolis. I've been reflecting on that evening when I stepped into this building carrying the news of that shooting and the despair and the confusion and, just so much. And sitting in our sanctuary with music and meditation that soothed and calmed my soul, and I'm so grateful. That was followed by a potluck, salads, tamales, chicken, fish, more salad, some bread, desserts. We filled our plates, we ate, we conversed, then folks washed their dishes and put tables and chairs away. And wow, isn't that what our congregation is about? That was a microcosm of who we are. Comfort and connection and food for weary, hurting souls. Each person brings what they can, perhaps nothing if that's the kind of day they've had. Each person pitches in as they're able, and each of us hopefully leaves feeling a little bit fuller from the event, more grounded, more sustained for the demands that face us as we walk out our doors. This morning, I invite you to keep that in mind as we pass our offering. This is a community I support with my time and my treasure, and I invite you to do the same this morning.
The policemen have thrown away their guns. They kiss their sons and their daughters, and their souls are at peace. No more black girls, black boys, trans women dying. No more reasons that could ever justify their loss. And mothers send their teens out at night to breathe the sweet summer air and exhale on the ground. The earth was made for them. The earth is made for them. She is on her way. On her way, she's on her way, on her way, and no one can be silent anymore. Every death is a death that my family mourns. We've traded in our numbness, in all of our fear, to fight for the lives we now hold dear. And everyone has come to greet the reckoning. The place where our hearts got smaller and smaller now grows to hold the pain, the brokenness that leads to change. She is on her way, on her way. Another world's not only possible. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Another world's not only possible. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Another world's not only possible. Quiet day, I can hear her breathing. Another world's not only possible. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. She is on her way, on her way. we pray and sing that we have each other, and what that means we'll finally get to be together. Stare with our hearts at what has been and find some place of home, and find some place of home. She's on her way, on her way. She's on her way, on her way. She's on her way, on her way. She's on her way, on her way.
These gifts that you all have given to our community, freely given, gratefully received. Thank you for your generosity to support our community, both through your financial contributions here and through all of your time and talents that we don't see here. But we're certainly hearing from some of you on the stage today. All right, couple pieces of housekeeping before we're going to end our time of prayer. First of all, the new coffee hour sign-up link is fixed, so you can actually sign up for slots. Please do. Today is our Whole Soul Studio. This is, as some of you know, it is our monthly drop-in small group ministry. And so this means we have a chance to be together, to get to know each other, and to go deeper on a topic. We're going to be doing that at 12 o'clock, so at noon after the service, you have some time to get coffee. Today's theme is rage and lament. So if you want to talk about rage and lament and spiritualities of rage and lament, come join us. One note, today, instead of it being in the sanctuary, because there are those auditions in here, we're going to be in the teen room in the basement. And Soul Stage auditions, yes. And if you would like, you can talk to Erica more about that after the service. So we're going to be in the basement. Take the door through the community room and just head down the stairs. I'll be there to wrangle people, so hopefully we all get there. One last thing is that next Sunday, the immigration rights activist Jeanette Vizgara is going to be our homilist. So she will be offering our homily. So please do join us here next Sunday for that. That is a pretty late edition. And now, it's our time of prayer, and as Lynn reminded us, it's been another hard week. It has been a particularly hard week and a long list of hard weeks. Not only because ICE invaded Minneapolis, but because they also murdered the legal observer and the queer woman and poet Renee Good. And so today that's what our prayer is going to focus on. And I imagine that there is a lot in this room around that tragedy. And so let's hold that together, or at least tend to it with compassion and with care in a moment of prayer and meditation. This particular incident, I know, hits close to home for many of us. Renee Good was a mother to 3 children and a queer woman from Colorado Springs. among the horrors of her killing were the presence of stuffed animals in her car for the kiddos she'd just dropped off at school, that she was denied medical attention, and that her killing was filmed from numerous angles, as I'm sure some of you have seen. And so we hold all of that. And also we hold each other in the secondhand trauma of seeing a video of somebody moments before their death and the horrors of the blatant state violence and homophobia and misogyny that I know many of us are also feeling in seeing that video and the way that that agent interacted. We hold all of us who are worried about our safety at protests that are so necessary in moments like this, and yet protests that I'm sure some of us feel less safe attending today than we did last week when we gathered. We also hold the reality and we name the truth that this kind of state violence is one that Black and Indigenous and people of color have known for a long time. And we know that much of that violence, many of our state-sanctioned killings have also been filmed, but that many happened out of sight for those of us with power or with privilege. And yet they are all connected by this denial of humanity by our government. And so for a moment, I invite us to just send our loving compassion to each and other here as an affirmation of our shared humanity, our shared dignity, and our shared worthiness. Let's extend that care to one another. Of the many things that I have read about this incident this week, one that has stood out to me is from the journalist and the writer and the urban policy researcher Ned Reznikoff, who wrote this: "All of the lies they're telling about Renee Good are in the service of an even bigger lie, that individual human lives have no intrinsic worth and are therefore theirs to dispose of." Dear ones, may we not accept these lies. And may you instead remember this: you are sacred and worthy. Your neighbor is sacred and worthy. We are all sacred and worthy. May we honor that holiness. May we honor that holiness in one another. And may we fight for each other. May this be so, and amen.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth.
Join us if you wish.
It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
In this scene from the play The Bacchae, the god Dionysus, pretending to be a mere mortal priest, has miraculously escaped from prison in Thebes. The tyrant Pentheus continues scheming about how to stop the dangerous, ecstatic cult that the women of Thebes have joined. Together, they discuss how to infiltrate the cult and restore order to the city.
Pentheus, my friend, you have a chance to make this right.
By doing what? Being ruled by my subjects?
What if I brought the women to you, unarmed? I can.
Nice try. I know a trick when I see one.
Is it a trick if I'm trying to save you?
This is all part of your plan, I'm sure. A pact to make this worship last forever.
I made the pact, but that's between my God and me. Do you want to see them all together, sitting up on the mountain?
Oh, so much. I'd pay good money to see that. I could sit under the pines. I'll be quiet.
But they would hunt you down no matter what stealth you use.
You're right. I'll go in the open. That's a good idea, right?
Shall we then? Will you come on this adventure with me?
Right away. Let's go. I can't stand waiting.
Hold on, you're not dressed for it. A nice dress, preferably linen, and then you'll be ready. Come back inside, we'll get you changed.
Into what? Women's clothes? I can't, it would shame me.
So you don't want to see the Maynards that badly.
What do you want me to wear?
Let's deal with your hair first. It needs to be longer. I can take care of that.
And next, any other costume pieces?
A dress that falls past your ankles. And a headband.
Do you want to add anything else?
A thorsus in hand and a dappled fawn skin. That'll do nicely.
I can't not women's clothes. I'm not.
You will spill blood if you fight them head on.
Right. It's better for me to go first and do recon.
Exactly. It's a better plan than fighting fire with fire.
How could this possibly speak to us today? Little more than a week ago, the President of the United States ordered the kidnapping of another nation's president. In the days since, ICE agents have shot and killed civilians. This alongside and following threats to other nations' sovereignty. What's the use of an old story when the latest headlines call out for attention, for witness? I imagine many of us here in the room or online are asking questions like these. They're appropriate. They're questions I'm asking myself, but not as rhetorical questions. These are questions that help me dig into the wells of my life to find something that will sustain this life I share with you. Perhaps, on the other hand, you are tired of witness. Perhaps you were looking for a couple of hours of rest this morning. And I can't blame you for that. No one can be on all the time, because when we do not take time to rest, our bodies and minds will find that time for us, and it won't be any more convenient. So then we find ourselves in a place of tension between a collective need to find outlet for our faith's values and a need for rest. Tension, longing for balance. I invite you to stay in that tension and work through it with me this morning. Let's see what lies on the other side. People have turned to stories for eons to work through the tension filling our lives. Stories can relieve tension by distracting us from it, but if we let them, stories can also hold mirrors up to our lives, allowing us to see them from angles that we couldn't before. But even still, Euripides' play, The Bacchae, may be an unlikely companion for us this morning. It's an ancient Greek play, older than the Gospels. It has its moments of humor, as you saw, but it ends in tragedy. When it ends, the city of Thebes and its ruling family sit in ruins. I'll leave you to find out how this happens if you want, but I'm not actually interested in the real ending of this story today. Instead, there is an unlikely gift inside this story, and that is what I want to share with you today. At first glance, the story seems to be spurred on by a willful god. Dionysus is capricious, with no concern in any obvious way for human dignity. For men's dignity, anyway. If we look at the plot from another angle, the play revolves around a powerful, flawed man and his downfall. Pentheus is a young, petty tyrant of Thebes, used to getting his way and keeping others under his heel. The men and women of the city are his pawns and his property. The order of the day benefits him until that order is upended. From the very beginning, we know he's frustrated. An upstart has weakened his grip on the city. There is a new god in town, a foreigner from across the sea, Dionysus. He's turned out to be all the rage with young and old alike in the city, especially among the women. In the scene we just took in a few moments ago, the wheels are falling off of the order that Pentheus came to take for granted. The women of the city have become maenads, ecstatic followers of Dionysus up on a nearby mountain. The women have slipped out of Pentheus's grip. Being the kind of man that he is, he cannot imagine these women having lives outside of his control. Eons of men have felt threatened by liberation, liberated women, and Pentheus is no different. He is among them. He assumes that these women can't possibly have spiritual lives of their own. They have to be up to some kind of debauchery on that mountain. So Pentheus continues to lose his control and his cool as he loses grip of power. Dionysus, still disguised as a priest, tricks him into some problem solving. He knows that more than anything, Pentheus wants to regain power. The power that he has taken for granted all of his life as a prince and now as a king. Pentheus has been sitting at the top of his world for most of his life, and now Dionysus sees an opportunity to knock him down a peg. So he suggests the unthinkable to a macho man like Pentheus. You should dress as a woman. Dionysus knows what's really in Pentheus's heart and knows he can undo him with it. The story takes a sharp turn from here. This could have been a turning point for Pentheus, but it wasn't. Ending here with the story, where do we go next? As I return to this play, I wonder how it could have been different. Pentheus took Dionysus's suggestion because he was filled with lust for power. So he chases it to his heart's content. That's the only reason he could imagine dressing like a second-class citizen. But what if he approached the gods' offer differently, with sincerity? Dionysus's trick could have been an invitation. Dionysus dressed Pentheus in drag, and it reminds me of a recurring bit in the show RuPaul's Drag Race. The contestants face this challenge of dressing straight men as fabulous divas. When these men sit down at the makeup counter next to the show's expert shapeshifters, something kind of beautiful happens. We watch some of these men take the queens up on their gifts. We see them get in touch with a feminine side in themselves, a side they've been hiding because their parents and teachers and media says their genders can only be rigid and small. I imagine another unfolding of the Bacchae where this happens to Pentheus too. Pentheus accepts a God-given gift, and it frees him. He lets go of his lust for control and domination. He puts aside all the ways he's been limited by the expectations of manhood. He says yes to liberation. But first, he has to accept what he's been given as a gift, an invitation, an opportunity. Liberator is not the God I thought Dionysus was when I first began including him in my weekly devotions as a pagan. Perhaps like some of you, my first encounter with this God was, in fact, in the Disney movie Fantasia as a kid. In the movie's vignette set to Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony, we meet Dionysus as a jolly old god of good times. Eating and drinking sumptuous, delectable things, he is the personification of indulgence and a loyal worshiper of pleasure. But the Bacchae shows a different side of him, more complex than this Disneyfication could ever let us know. In this story, he's a trickster god. He is a being who keeps the world spinning in its spiral dance by disrupting order, stasis, stagnation. This was hardly an icon. He was hardly an icon of self-centered indulgence. He was a literal liberator in some myths. In the Bacchae, he frees himself and his followers from imprisonment by Pentheus. He slipped loose from capture in similar ways in Homeric hymns. Among his many names, Lysios was another name his followers called him, meaning he who frees, he who sets loose, Redeemer. Across the ages, he has been a giver of unlikely gifts. And we are also givers of unlikely gifts to one another. We have the power to disrupt the order that constricts each other, the order that seems to give our lives structure, but which in fact limits us to old, narrow ways of being. Like Pentheus, we may have taken that order for granted. Maybe we've even benefited from it. Maybe we've taken it for granted that men are always tough and stoic and women are always in touch with their feelings. Maybe we took it for granted that church will only teach truth and damnation. Maybe we took it for granted that governments and economic systems will only take more than they give back. That the world runs in certain predictable ways. But in big and little ways, many of us live lives that slip out of the confines of those rigid orders. We bend our genders. We build church around relationship instead of dogma. We build consensus and mutual aid networks. But we don't do any of this ourselves. With only our own experiences as our guides, when we get to know each other, we can break free of the narrow ways we've been living. We can broaden our perspectives when we get to know each other's. We each have the power to invite one another into new habits, new ways of living, but these invitations need love and relationship to be really enticing. Our faith, if you've noticed, has been going through a bit of a universalist renaissance in the last few years. Our universalist ancestors believed that love was the order of the universe. That love was so powerful that no sin could break the relationship between God and humanity. We don't take God or the belief in here for granted today, because not all of us are moved by gods. But we Unitarian Universalists are remembering the central power of love again. We are remembering that individual intellect will not save us by itself. We are remembering that we need each other and each other's gifts. We are remembering that loving relationship holds us together and sets us free. We each find our liberation in many different places. Some of us find it by keeping ourselves current on the news. Some of us find it in drag shows or by dressing in ways that truly express our genders. Some of us find it in biking instead of driving or eating plant-based diets. Many of us are doing the things we think will make the world better because it's made our lives better. We can invite each other into these things or what else sets us free, but those invitations have to mean something. Relationships we build through love, care, and attention make those invitations deep and meaningful. Love, care, and attention make these invitations into gifts. The gifts that help us find freedom together. These loving relationships are where our liberation begins. Our world asks a lot of us to witness change the pain we see caused by forces beyond our immediate control. It's enough to make anyone rage or despair. But beneath all the rage and despair, right under our noses, there are changes we can make. We begin by opening ourselves to the problems in each other's lives, in our homes and neighborhoods. And when we share, we might find we have solutions we've forgotten. But even if we don't find those solutions, our relationships are stronger. And stronger relationships knit together increase our collective power to affect greater change. Changes in our neighborhoods, our local governments, rippling out into the world. This is the power of people, and this is the power of church. I've seen it when neighbors and congregants get together to share their problems and resources. These relationships won't change the course of nations overnight, but they will change the lives we share. Liberation is a gift we give one another. Sometimes it's the gift we didn't know we needed, but still, we can't receive it with closed arms, crossed arms, and closed fists, thinking our old, worn-out tracks will be the path that carries us forward. We can't share our gifts this way either. We find liberation when we open ourselves to change, to let our assumptions get challenged, to answer calls to return for repair. These aren't the only ways we find liberation, but we will never find any of it on our own. The little gifts of liberation add up to create new worlds. Who knows the next time you will meet someone with an unlikely gift? So when you meet them, I hope you take them up on their offer.
Would you rise in body and or spirit to sing our next hymn with us? We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, this world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry. Thank you. Thank you, Birch. Would you join us in singing our closing affirmation? Behind all our differences and beneath our diversity, there is a unity that makes us one, binds us forever together out all time. Life and death and the space between the stars. Out all time. Life and death and the space between the stars.
Each little gift is a blessing we give one another. This service ends, and the service to the greater world begins again. And when we go out, may we carry our gifts and blessings with us. Peace. Chaire. Amen. So may it be.